Listen, ladies, do not live a life where you are waiting for somebody else to hold your hand, waiting for somebody else to work things out for you. One of the beauty of life, one of the beautiful things of life is that we are free to choose. Now, you can choose God's plan for your life, which is good, which is amazing, which is wonderful. It will have its challenges, of course. There will have to be certain disciplines, but the outcome is always good. God's plan for you is great. It is amazing. That means you become a daughter of the King. That means how you see yourself completely changes. How you look at yourself changes. How you think about yourself changes. So you are not codependent, waiting for somebody else, waiting for a man, waiting to get married. You can start making your life work now. Let the man who is right for you find you. You don't have to be desperate. Refuse to be a desperate woman. A desperate woman attracts all the wrong people. A desperate woman attracts all the wrong people. Now you add more problems to your life that you didn't need in the first place. And yes, you may have made some choices that were not so smart. By the grace of God, God can restore your purity, your innocence. You do not have to judge yourself the way the world judges people. You do not have to look at your life the way worldly people look at life. You decide if Jesus has cleansed your spirit, if Jesus has made you whole. You don't have to settle for average. You do not have to settle for anyone. You do not have to accept an average life. You now have the king's mindset in you, the queen's mindset in you, where you are taking charge of your life, where you are using your gifts and talents, abilities to earn an income for yourself. You can monetize your skill sets. You don't even have to rely on the job or the profession or the degree that you have. You can look at other things that you enjoy doing and work out, how can I create an income from this? You see, you have to see yourself the way God sees you. If you see yourself according to the way the world sees you, you're going to feel left on the side. And here I come along like a good Samaritan. Some things have happened in your life. Some people dropped you. Some people ignored you. Some experts left you stranded. I want to bring you hope. I am like a hope dealer. That no matter what has been, no matter if it looked like you were left for dead, you were left with no hope, you don't even know where to start, and you are just surviving. Maybe you have gotten used to even living on a low income, minimum wage. That is not God's best plan for you. God's plan for you is way bigger than minimum wage. God's plan for you is bigger than just surviving. God's plan for you is doing more, becoming more, accomplishing more. God's plan for you is to see yourself the way He sees you. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You don't have to be desperate. Desperate for who? You see, when you are in that state, you don't think clearly. You do not look at life from a place of power. It's a place of feeling like, oh, I'll take whoever asks me out. I'll take whoever looks at me twice. I'll take whoever pursues me. You have to come to a place where you have high standards, that the person that is right for you has to check themselves out. They totally have to check themselves out. Like, can I even go past hello? Don't be desperate in this life. God has amazing plans for you. And things may look a certain way right now. They may look challenging. But you wake up every morning with expectation. Something amazing is going to happen today. As I'm working my business, as I'm communicating, as I'm putting up videos, as I'm writing emails. Because it is about becoming. It is about becoming a better version of you. You do not have to settle for what life has thrown at you. You do not have to accept being a victim. When you feel like a victim, you run away from opportunities. You see like you're not good enough. God has an amazing plan for your life. There are people who may not have recognized your beauty, your worth. You don't have to settle for that identity. There may be somebody in your life right now who doesn't see your value and your worth, and they take you for granted. You are working so hard. You are the only one pulling the weight around here. You don't have to settle for that. You don't have to accept that. God's plan for you is amazing. But you have to start believing in yourself. Listen, I have a 90-day coaching program where you learn certain habits and behaviors, how to see yourself differently. Or you can take a 6-month transformation program. Get in touch with me to know more about this. How to not be that woman. No. That people just take for granted. You can heal from all the narcissistic abuse. You can take time, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, no dating, until you discover, who am I? What do I enjoy? Where you are single by choice. You can be single by choice. Listen, even when it comes to be in a relationship, right? This is for guys as well. Make sure that you can support yourself. Make sure that you can support yourself. Otherwise, you are dependent on somebody continuously liking you or being in love with you. What happens when they're no longer in love with you? What do? When they, if it happens, should it happen, decide they don't want to be with you anymore? Can you support yourself? That is really vulnerable. It is vulnerable not knowing how to support yourself, not having a plan in place for yourself. Why put yourself in that predicament? One of the tough life lessons to learn. I've had some clients in my own businesses that I've done that changed their mind about me. As professional, as attentive, and as kind as I am, because of their own mental health issues, their own background that's got nothing to do with me. They're like, oh, we don't need this service anymore. Okay. Or we think, right, let's finish the contract. Oh, is there a way we can terminate the contract? Sure, let's terminate the contract. If you're not happy, let's work around that. No problem. It is not wise to stay in a vulnerable position. It is good to rise into your place of power. You must choose to own your power. You must choose to own your power to do life by design. So listen, if you want to know more about this, get in touch with me. I have a 90-day program. I also have a 6-month program. I also do workshops to help you to be more comfortable with being more visible. You must be more visible for the services and the products that you have, for the offers that you have. What do you have to offer in the marketplace? Because you see, people don't really care about your story. They don't care what you've gone through. They care about, how can you solve my problem? You may want the whole world to know about what you went through. Absolutely. And there's a time and a place for that. But at some point, you have to need to know how to be a solution-minded person in the marketplace. That's my mindset. How do we solve this problem? That's my mindset. As a result, no matter what I go through, no matter what challenges I face, I always come out on the other side because that's what I believe. Things always work out for me. Because God's word tells me that. My faith informs me that. And God set me free from anxiety, like, be anxious about things you cannot control. There comes a time where you decide to go on a journey of transformation, of becoming the highest version of you, the confident version of you, the classy, elegant version of you, the wealthy version of you, the powerful version of you, where you're no longer depending on people who like you or they don't. If people like me or they don't, it doesn't bother me. I'm not here for everybody to like me. No, thank you. No, thank you. If people didn't even like the Son of God, who am I? A lot of people didn't like the very Son of God. Who am I? So, listen, get in touch with me. Let's get to work.